Dear students, welcome to the session. In this session, we are going to discuss about air pollution and its introduction. This is the revision of Unit 1. In this session, the contents I am going to cover are air pollution and its definitions, scope of air pollution, air pollutants, sources of air pollution. In this session, we will discuss about what is air pollution and what are the various definitions provided by Indian standards for air pollution and what is the scope of air pollution. After that, what do you mean by air pollutants and what are the various classification for air pollutants and what are the various sources of air pollution and how we can classify the sources of air pollution. So, about these topics we are going to see in this session. First one is air pollution. You can see here, air pollution occurs due to the presence of undesirable solid or gaseous particles in the air in quantities that are harmful to human health and environment. So you may consider this as a definition of air pollution. Air pollution is nothing but whatever the thing, either gaseous or particulate or liquid droplets, whatever it may, if it is present in atmosphere and it causes some harmful effects to environment as well as health of human being, so then you may consider that substance as air pollutant and that condition of atmosphere is known as air pollution. So simply you can say that air pollution occurs due to the presence of undesirable solid or gaseous particulates in the air in quantities that are harmful to human health and environment. So the air pollution can be defined as the presence of foreign matter, either gaseous or particulate or combination of both in the atmosphere, which is detrimental to the health and welfare of human beings. It means whatever the substance which is present in atmosphere, if it causes damages to environment as well as health effects to human beings, and also if it can affect the comfort living of human beings, then that substance considered as air pollutant and that condition of atmosphere is called as air pollution. So we are having various definitions provided by Indian standards for air pollution. So this is the definition of Bureau of Indian Standard given by IS 4167 1980. According to this, the definition of air pollution is the presence in ambient atmosphere of substances generally resulting from the activities of man in sufficient concentration present for a significant time and under circumstances such as to interfere with the comfort, health or welfare of persons or with reasonable use of enjoyment of property. So from this we can understand that air pollution is a condition of atmosphere in which various substances present and those activities affects the health of human being, and those, it means the presence of such substances can affect the health of human beings, can affect the environment and also can affect the enjoyment of his property. It means enjoyment of the property of human beings. So it means whatever the substance or whatever the condition of atmosphere can spoil environment, human health and the comfort living of human being, that condition of atmosphere is called as air pollution, and whatever the substance reason behind this type of condition or this type of air pollution is called as air pollutants. So you can see here, this is the most important definition. Air pollution is the presence in ambient atmosphere of substances generally resulting from the activities of man in sufficient concentration present for a significant time and under circumstances such as to interfere with comfort, health or welfare of persons or with reasonable use of enjoyment of property. Next one is the Air Act of India. It means this is the definition according to 1987 amendment. It means this is the definition given by amendment 1987. This is also called as Air Act of India. You can see the definition according to this is air pollution means any solid, liquid or gaseous substances present in the atmosphere in such concentration that may tend to be injurious to human beings or other living creatures or plants or property or enjoyment. So this is the definition of air pollution given by Air Act of India. So according to this definition, whatever the substance it means either in the form of solid or liquid or gas, if it is present in atmosphere, its concentration may injurious to human being or may spoil the atmosphere or may spoil the various living creatures like plants, animals, and also it may spoil the property. It means it may cause various economic losses or financial losses, and also it may spoil the enjoyment of human beings. So that condition of a atmosphere is called as air pollution. So this is the definition given by Air Act of India. And next one is the scope of air pollution. Scope is nothing but in how many fields or in how many areas the subject air pollution we may use. It means the knowledge of air pollution and its control, where we can apply or where we can utilize the knowledge. So that is nothing but scope of air pollution. So this scope of air pollution or the knowledge of air pollution we can apply in this many of areas. First one is environmental impact assessment, air quality monitoring or management, noise pollution, environment health and safety. Next one is radioactive waste management, and next one is air chemistry. You can see environmental impact assessment. Environmental impact assessment is nothing but it is a report. It means if we start a project or if we need to start an industry at a particular location, before starting or before proposing that industry, we need to get permission from Government of India. So for getting permission from Government of India, we have to submit some documents like before starting the industry, what is the health condition of people there, and what is the condition of environment there, and what is the living culture of people there, and what is the income of people there, and what are the various natural resources available there. It means complete information about that particular environment. We have to prepare a report. After that, again we have to prepare a report that after, it means once the industry have been started, it means while the industry is running, how the environment will get affected from the products or from the wastes coming out from the industry. So it means we have to prepare a report that what is the initial condition of environment there, and after the start of or after the run of industry, what is the condition of environment there. It means how the industry will affect the environment there. So about all these things we have to prepare a report. That report is called as environmental impact assessment. So it means this is a separate subject that how to prepare a report and what are all the contents to be in the report, and how to get permission or how to get approval of that report, and also it means how to do survey to get all these details. So that subject is called as environmental impact assessment. So in the it means in this field also, it means in the area of environmental impact assessment also we need the knowledge of air pollution. Next one is the air quality monitoring or management. It means air quality monitoring, it means the quality is nothing but how the air is safe or how the air is pure for human beings as well as for environment. So the monitoring of that purity or quality of atmospheric air, it is a separate subject. In that subject also or in that area also we need the knowledge of air pollution. And the next one is the noise pollution. Noise pollution, now these days noise pollution is also becoming a bigger issue. So in the field of or in the analysis of or in the study of noise pollution also, the knowledge of air pollution is needed, because noise or sound can travel from one place to another place only through air. If there is no air, there will be no noise, there will be no sound, there will be no music. So if there is the air, then only noise or sound can travel from here to there. So that's why noise pollution is it means in the study of noise pollution also the knowledge of air pollution is required. And next one is the environment health and safety. It means it may called as public health engineering. So it means in the study of public health engineering and also in the study of ecosystem or biodiversity also we need the knowledge of air pollution. And next one is the radioactive waste management. It means radioactive waste management means various sources are there which can release radioactive gases or radioactive wastes into atmosphere, like nuclear power plants or nuclear testing laboratories, or it means the manufacturing of nuclear bombs or atom bombs also can produce various waste products. those gases or those waste products are called as radioactive wastes. So if once the radioactive substances or radioactive wastes or radioactive gases entered into atmosphere, they can cause a large quantity of damage to atmosphere, and they will not allow the survival of any creatures there. So that's why, so that is about radioactive wastes. So in the study or in the field of radioactive waste management also, the knowledge of air pollution is needed. And next one is the air chemistry. So in the field of chemistry also, we need the knowledge of air pollution and control. So this is the scope of air pollution. This is the most important question we have to see. It means we are studying a subject, and what is the scope of that subject, and in which field it should be useful, and in it means what are the applications, or in which field or in which areas we can apply the knowledge of that subject. So this is the mandatory thing we have to know. It means that is the primary knowledge we should have about any subject before we are going to learn. So here this is the scope of air pollution. And next one is the air pollutants. Air pollutants, it means we can define air pollutant as the substance in atmosphere which is responsible for air pollution, or the substance in atmosphere which can cause air pollution is nothing but air pollutant. It means simply we can define air pollutant as the substance either in gaseous state or in liquid state or in particle state which can cause environmental effects, or which can affect health of human beings, is nothing but air pollutant. And based on their sources, these air pollutants have been classified as natural air pollutants and man-made or anthropogenic air pollutants. And it means whatever the sources which can produce natural air pollutants into atmosphere, those sources are called as natural air pollution sources, and whatever the sources which can produce man-made air pollutants or anthropogenic air pollutants into atmosphere are also called as artificial air pollutants into atmosphere. They are called as man-made sources or anthropogenic sources of air pollution or air pollutants. So you can see here, so in this now we see about what are the various natural pollutants and what are the various sources of natural air pollutants, and what are various man-made pollutants, and what are the various sources for man-made pollutants. We are going to see now. First one is the natural pollutants. You can see here, natural air pollution sources consist of following: wind-blown dust, salt particles from seawater, microorganisms like bacteria, spores, pollen, and next one is the fog and forest fires, volcanic eruptions like ash, dust, sulfur. So these are all the various sources of air, natural air pollutants, as well as these are all various natural air pollutants like the dust which is flowing along with wind. It is a natural air pollutant. It is a particle air pollutant, and which can cause various eye problems, skin irritation, skin diseases, and also which can reduces the visibility of our surroundings. So this is also, the dust also can be considered as an air pollutant. And next one is the salt particles coming out from seawater. So this is also considered as a natural air pollutant. And next one is microorganism like bacteria, spores, pollen. Pollen is the natural air pollutant, and pollen is nothing but the particles are the grains or grain particles coming out from flowers or plants or trees or grass. They are considered as pollen particles. Okay, na? So and bacteria, spores, virus, all these are also considered as air pollutants. And it means the air pollutant is nothing but whatever the substance or whatever the particle in atmosphere which can cause various health effects or which can cause various diseases to human beings, they are considered as air pollutants. So here bacteria, virus, various microorganisms and spores also considered as natural air pollutants. And next one is the fog. Fog is nothing but a precipitation like ice falling or the dispersion of ice or snow in atmosphere, or the precipitation of ice or snow is nothing but a fog. It is also considered as a air pollutant. It is a natural air pollutant. And the next one is the forest fires. From forest fires, some particulates can be avoided, and some particulates which contains sulfides or ash particles can come, and also smoke can come out from forest fires. So this is also a source of natural air pollutant. And next one is the volcanic eruptions. Due to the eruption of volcanoes, ash, dust, and sulfur particles can be evolved, and also various gases like oxides of sulfur, oxides of nitrogen, and also oxides of carbon will be evolved into atmosphere. So these are all the various natural air pollutants as well as various natural sources of air pollutants. So next one is the man-made sources of air pollution. So man-made is nothing but various activities done by human beings, like usage of industries or usage of automobiles and thermal power plants, and his comfort living. For his comfort living, he is using various uh, instruments like ACs, refrigerators, air coolers, etc. So all these activities like industries, automobiles, his comfort living, it means the equipment used for his comfort living also will release various pollutants into atmosphere. So those pollutants are called as man-made pollutants or anthropogenic pollutants or artificial pollutants, and the sources of the activities which are evolving these pollutants are called as man-made sources or anthropogenic sources or artificial sources. You can see various activities are there, like industrial activities, organic activities, combustion activities, petroleum refineries. So many are there. So now we are going to see various human activities. It means which are reason behind the air pollution. See, first one is the combustion process. It means whenever we combust or whenever we burn various fossil fuels like petroleum, coal, and also whenever we burn various organic materials like wood, paper, etc., they will produce various pollutants into atmosphere. Okay, you can see it means domestic gas burning, thermal power plants, automobiles, aeroplanes, railways. So these are all the various things or various operations in which we can use combustion process. It means mostly we will burn fossil fuels in all these operations, so they will produce various gases like sulfur dioxide, nitrogen dioxide, carbon monoxide, carbon dioxide, and various organic vapors and odors into atmosphere. So it means these are all the various gases pollutants, and also these combustion process or burning of fossil fuel process can produce various particulate matter or various particles like dust, fume, and smoke. So these are all the various pollutants coming out from combustion process. And the next man-made activity is chemical industrial process, like various industries like paper mills, cement plants, fertilizer industries, and also various other chemical industries like manufacturing of acids, textile industry. All these things come under chemical industrial process, and these chemical industrial process will release various pollutants like dust, fume, mist, and whereas gases pollutants like sulfur dioxide, nitrogen dioxide, ammonia, NH3, carbon dioxide, organic vapors, and others. And the next man-made activity is metallurgical process. Metallurgical process is nothing but various metallurgical industries. The industries in which we can extract metals, or the industry in which we can process various metals. So those industries are called as metallurgical process. If you consider every metal coming out from earth, and every metal in earth will be in the form of sulfides or sulfates. Like if you take iron in earth, when it is present in earth in raw form, it will be in the form of ferrous sulfide or ferrous oxide or ferrous sulfate, and also sometimes it may be in the form of ferrous fluoride. And also you can consider various it means another some other metal like aluminum metal also coming out from earth. In earth it will be in the form of in its sulfide form or sulfate form or in its oxide form. So we cannot find any metal in earth in its pure form. So we have to extract these metals from earth. After that we have to process them in industry, and then only we can get the pure metals. So that process are called as metallurgical process. And you can see various metallurgical industries like aluminum industries, steel plants, ferrous industries, and also various non-ferrous industries. And the especially the pollutants coming out from these industries are dust, fume, sulfur dioxide, carbon monoxide, fluorides, and organic vapors. Next one is the food and food operations like restaurants, hotels, and food manufacturing, ice cream industries also. Sorry, ice cream plants also. You can say dust, mist, odorous materials will be coming out from these operations, food manufacturing or food preparation operations. And next one is the petroleum operations. From petroleum operations, it means petroleum refining process. The pollutants releasing are dust particles, mist particles, sulfur dioxide, H2S. H2S is nothing but hydrogen sulfide. Next one is ammonia, carbon monoxide, hydrocarbons, mercaptans. Mercaptans also called as organic gases. It means organic gases contains carbon and hydrogen in their composition, and the organic gases which contains sulfur, it means the organic gases which contains carbon, hydrogen along with sulfur, those organic gases are called as mercaptans. So it means from petroleum operations, these are all the various pollutants coming out like dust, mist, sulfur dioxide, hydrogen sulfide, ammonia, carbon monoxide, hydrocarbons, and mercaptans. And from agricultural activities, dust particles, mist particles, organic phosphates, hydrocarbons will be evolved. And from nuclear, it means nuclear energy programs, various pollutants will be evolved. Though it means like dust particles, fluorides, C14, I131, SR90. It means you can see here, these are all the unstable molecules. It means if you take carbon, the atomic weight of carbon is 12. It means whenever we need to mention carbon atom, we have to mention in terms of C12. So, but here we are mentioning C14. It means the atomic weight of or the atomic mass of carbon is converting from 12 to 14. It means those atoms are those substances whose atomic mass have been altered or whose atomic mass have been changes. Those substances or those molecules are called as radioactive substances. It means here you can see carbon, it is a radioactive substance when its atomic mass have been changes. And next you can see iodine. Iodine is also considered as a radioactive substance when its atomic mass have been altered. And next one is the strontium. Strontium is also a radioactive element. Cesium also a radioactive element. Uranium also a radioactive element. Thorium also a radioactive element. Radium also a radioactive element. So these radioactive substances will be entered into atmosphere from various nuclear operations like fuel preparation, nuclear power plants, nuclear device testing, etc. And next one is the, so these are all the various up to now, these are all the various sources of air pollutants: natural air pollutants, artificial air pollutants, natural source of air pollutants, artificial source of air pollutants. Up to now we have seen. Okay now. And the next one is the also about air pollutants. This is somewhat some other classification of air pollutants. Okay, thank you. In this session, we have discussed about what is air pollution, what is air pollutant, and what are the various definitions of air pollution given by Indian standards and Air Act of India, and what are the various natural sources of air pollution and natural and artificial source of air pollution we have seen, and also what are various natural pollutants and various artificial pollutants we have seen. You remember that whatever the pollutant coming out from natural activity, they are called as natural pollutants, and whatever the pollutants coming out from man-made activity, they are called as anthropogenic pollutants. Okay na? Okay, in next session we will discuss about various classification of air pollutants and various classification of air pollution sources we will see. Thank you.